Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Tuesday, the 6th of July.
It feels weird. It's like it's Monday. Like, is it? Wait, what day is it?
It is Tuesday, though.
It is
So
Tuesday, indeed. That's why we're here.
that is why we are here for sure. So we are super excited to be here. I'm Charles with Until You Win with my wonderful co host.
Leanne Lyon, Chief Joy Officer of Joy Minder Consulting.
She does this again, and every week I forget I need to come up with some big, catchy
How many
titles for
weeks has it
myself.
been, Charles? How many?
We're on 18. This is episode 18.
Chief winner.
Chief winner there.
Chief winner of Until You Win.
Oh, there you go. Maybe. So I'll put that. Hold on, I'm gonna have to write that one down.
You write that one down?
Winner.
Chief winner of Until You Win. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
So anyway, we have just had a couple of fun weeks of just dealing with all the new stuff that's coming out. So we're just going to kind of recap some of that. We haven't had any other big new releases that have come on. Today's call was really talking about I forget the titles, the big nerd and the mega nerd, or
Are you asking me? Yeah, it's here. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah. So for people who have
big nerd and huge nerd,
there you go. Big nerd and huge nerd. They're at about 80 for each one, so they have about another 70 for each. So they are basically, if you have a large organization and you want a lot of emails, a lot of blog posts, social media, it's what, $297 and $497, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah, and it's monthly, which means you can get it for a month. And if you get everything you need for a while, you can take a break and then you can get another, or you can keep rolling. I mean, I really think that they see this as an opportunity for people to get what they need. So because I showed up at Nerdstock, I kind of get it for July.
Oh, nice. So how much have you been doing?
Well, I have been on vacation.
Okay.
The 4th of July.
We will forgive you for that one.
I will go crazy the rest of the month.
But here is the link, hireyournerd.now.site/home. So if you're interested in these, really, I think of these like solo ad heavy hitter ones, right? If you have a lot of information, especially with the huge nerd, that's unlimited every single month. So, I mean, you could just be requesting. And that is just truly an incredible way to go about doing this. So that is one of the options. So they discussed that this morning. I'm trying to think what else they discussed. We really talked a lot more about now. So we talked about Insight, right? And Insight is when you are a member, to be able to grab your phone, hold up my phone so I can see it, to be able to grab your phone and go and actually physically look at what's going on with your clients, right? So how much have they looked at your video? How much, like, did they open your email? How did they open it? Where did they open it from? Based on some information, where are they most likely to, like, what's the best way that they're going to respond? So that's Insight. And for those people who sign up between now and the end of the month, or those who have already signed up, that will be automatically included with your Nowsite membership at no extra cost. No clue what the price point is going to be. They're keeping that tight-lipped. For all we know, that could be another $47 a month, right? We just don't know what they're going to charge us for that, but there will be an additional fee to that. So it's kind of one of these things that if you're interested in getting that and being able to use some of that services, is get signed up now. And then we went into talking about Nowsite sales. So they did extend the first week until the 9th, which is Friday. So everybody who's already in Nowsite, You now have till the 9th to sign somebody up to get your first month of Nowsite sales for free.
And I'm happy to say I have a new client signing
That
up
is
right now
awesome.
on
I
her
am
own.
working on it. So don't have anybody yet, but working on it. And then if you sign somebody up in your second week, you get a second month. In your third week, you get a third month for free. Again, we don't know what the sale point of that is going to be. Could be 20, 40, 47, 50. Who knows what they're going to charge for that. We do know that they're going for everybody who is signed up before the end of the month, no matter what, you're going to be able to get those for $1 a piece. And for those who sign up after, you're going to be able to get a report for $2 a piece. So now I'm sure people are going, well, that's great. What the heck are you talking about? So let's take a look. And let me pull up the right thing for us to take a look at here. Here we go. So I was given permission to actually share this. I did redact all the information because I really don't want people. One is I don't want you calling him, right? I want you calling me. Don't want you calling him. He's still going to benefit because in our affiliate program, he's above us. So he's still going to make money off this. So don't feel he's going to lose out. But he gave us permission to use this. Again, so this is all redacted information. Okay. Let me pull it down so I can actually look at this a little bit better. But this is what you're going to get. Now, keep in mind, for some people, it's going to be a little bit shorter. For some people, it's going to be a lot larger. A lot depends on what their footprint is when it comes to social media. That's going to dictate a lot of this from what we're learning. But it's going to tell you a little bit, this first section here, it's going to, oops, sorry, I need to turn on my highlighter. I will mark this up. Okay, so this first section here, nope, it's not letting me do that. Sorry. But anyway, so this first section, it tells you a little bit about them. Do they have a web page? Is there something that they're interested in? What is their employment? And what's the title of what they do? So this person actually has a publication company called Uprock Publications, and he's a book publisher. That's his official title. It gives you their email and phone number, and most likely you're already going to have this information. You're at least going to have one of the two when you plug it in, and this is where a lot of the information is going to be drawn from. It's going to tell you about their websites, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. It even tells you how many followers and how many people they're following. So this is really, when this was broke down on another meeting that I was on, this was a really important thing, because if you look at people who are on Twitter, you really want somebody who is an influencer in all reality. You don't want somebody who's, has 50 followers, right? Or if you do, you're going to treat them a lot different and talk to them a lot different. And when they go, I don't have anybody to call and talk to, you're going to be like, yeah, you're right. You need to get more followers. It's good to tell you a little bit about how they like the purchasing financially. How do they like to travel? Do they do business, or do they do family vacations also? What sort of hobbies are they in? What type of vehicles? Now, this is what blew this person away. He could not believe that they knew that he had a Mercedes and that he had a Cadillac SUV. He was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they know that. Demographic, it'll tell you a little bit about who they are. Are they potentially a homeowner? Are they married? Occupation again. What type of home do they live in? Again, income is going to be it's going to be generic. You're not going to learn that the person makes $80,572.17 last year. It's going to be kind of a ballpark is what they're going to be giving based on information. Again, nobody needs to get creeped out. This is all public information. If you're overly private, you're never going to see some of this stuff. What city do they live in? What sort of diet? This next one really blew him out of the water, because he's like, only my close friends know that I am into roller skating. Like, nobody, he goes, if you don't know me, you're not going to know that I'm into roller skating. He goes, so this was something that really surprised him. And then on the next 2 pages, it goes into talking about a personality profile, and all the different things of how do you talk to this person, right? So if you're like, what's their behaviors, their energize, like what energizes them? If you're speaking to them, what is important for you to speak with them about? And again, this is all pulled from how they are on social media and how it shows them out there already. How do they email? What sort of meeting? I mean, anybody who is in sales, okay, and I know we can't have a lot of people raise their hand, but the reality is every single person is in sales, right? As a nurse working in the emergency room, people would look at me and say, well, you weren't in sales there. You were just doing a job. No, but I had to sell this person on letting me give them an injection, to letting me start an IV, right? I had to sell them on what the benefits were, right? So knowing what somebody's pluses and minuses are, right? What encourages them, what turns them on, what turns them off, that's a game changer. Like if you could pick up the phone and know, so this person here, make time for small talk, right? What if it said, get right down to business, right? I'm going to call that person in a different way, right? So let's say this was Leanne's. When I'm calling Leanne, if it says make time for small talk, I'm going to be, hey, Leanne, it's Charles. How you doing? Great. So, hey, haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on with the family? And, blah, 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 right? So I'm going to have a conversation with the person. If it says get right down to business, I'm going to go, hey, Leanne, I know that you're always pressed for time, and I just want to kind of get down to the nitty gritty about this. But, I have a product that I think would be really good for you. When can you and I book a time to get on a Zoom? I need 20 minutes of your time. Right? So 2 separate ways I'm going to approach Leanne if I know how to approach Leanne based on her personality type. Now, so two pages of this, sales advice, pain points. Really, this is priceless. Now, one of the people today made a comment that he said that he runs a company that does something very similar to this. And Justin made it very clear. Hey, if anybody does this and he goes, I want to know because I don't know anybody who does this. So this person came back and basically told Justin, this is kind of what I do, but what you have is a little different, but it's along the same lines. Take a wild guess how much he's charging for this, Leanne. For one report.
Wait. Let me think. $200.
Oh, you heard it. It is $200. So for him to do this single report for his clients on somebody who's a prospect, he charges $200. Now, what if you only got half of this information? Is it worth $2?
$2.
I mean, come on. That is crazy.
I mean, Charles, seriously. And here's another side of it. You go out networking. You get your cards. Great. You also had a beer. And you talked to 20 people in the 1 hour you were there. And so you get home and you're like, I usually have a pen with me and I'm like writing down a note on the back or trying to remember something, right? But then you got to take the time to get them in. You're still going to have to do that. You're still going to have to enter them in somehow, right? Like it's not going to pull it out of your brain. But of the 20 cards that you collect, who do you like doing business with, Charles? People who are like you or people who are opposite you? Now, granted, this is a great tool. At least if you know they're opposite, you can kind of work more with them. But if you were to do for $2, say, hey, I'm going to find out which of these 20 people are most like me. Those are the people I'm going to connect with first.
Okay. So count how many cards you have in your hand right now.
In my hand right now?
Yes,
okay.
Right now.
1, 2, 3. Wow, that one's really thick. 4, 5. What's that? 6, 7, 8, I guess. 8, sort of. 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so 12. So since Leanne's in before the 31st of July, It's going to cost her $12, right? At the most, to get a profile on 12 potential new clients. Now, if I'm sitting there with 12 profiles looking at them, who am I calling? I'm calling the person who best matches who I want to do business with.
Boom.
Right? I now get to prioritize them 1 through 12. Who's the first person I'm calling? Who's the 12th person? Okay. Women don't have this. Okay. But men, a lot of times when you go to certain restaurants or bars, over the urinals, a lot of times are advertisements. Right?
Oh, we have ads on the back of the door. Don't
Okay. So, all right. So you have the same thing. But think about being able to take a picture of like those advertisements and then come back and punch all them in and learn something about them and know how you're going to call them for whatever business you're in. If you're an insurance agent, if you're a real estate agent, if you're an investment banker, if you're somebody who helps with refinancing home loans, if you're somebody who's helping people build their business by marketing online. Yvonne just said, okay, so this is a funny one. I got to show this one. Yvonne just said, I can't unsee that. The picture of the bathroom. So,
By the way, Yvonne, meet Charles. Charles, meet Yvonne. Both of
hi,
you
Yvonne.
found
We
me.
keep it real here, by the way.
Y'all both found me on YouTube. Just saying.
Yeah,
Haven't met either of you in person yet, but I can't wait.
yes. So having this knowledge, like the old saying goes, knowledge is power. And having it is just something that to be able to pull this information out, and I'm talking on complete strangers at the moment, right? We're not even talking about the 400 people that you have friended on Facebook, right? You're talking a handful of cards, and I'm before now I'm talking about just random people that we're meeting. But what about the 400 people that you have on Facebook and the 1,000 people that you have on Instagram and the 15 people that you have on Twitter, right? Whatever your numbers are. But to be able to get that information on these people and go, how am I going to connect with this person? Using Nowsite Sales and Insight collectively for all your people that you have, that's a powerful tool. Like,
so Charles, I'm going to ask you a question because this was not 100% clear. So Insight is part of this, and Nowsite Sales is part of this. Now we know that if we're in before August, we get a certain number of Nowsite Sales profiles.
He has not. Justin and Cheryl have not been forthcoming in what that's going to be.
Oh, I thought I heard 20.
That sounds right, and I would think that that's what it is.
Okay,
because they've kind of thrown that around, but they really haven't gone into much more detail of how it's going to roll out.
Because I do the math, I'm like 47 divided by 20. That's a $2.50 lead. You know, just if that's the only part of Nowsite you even use. If you really go crazy.
Well, hold on, no. It's 47 times 2, which is 94, because you have to be a member of Nowsite to get Nowsite Sales. As of today, from what he was explaining, it is not something that they will be selling separately. You have to be a Nowsite customer to get Nowsite Sales. So if you're a Nowsite customer and let's say it's $47, so that's $94, right? So you divide that by 20 and it's twice the amount. So it'll be $5.
We're going to investigate this further, Charles.
This is something that as we get more information, we are going to make sure everybody hears about it for sure. But definitely
I heard it differently.
And again, I mean, I think each time we're hearing something a little bit different. So
they are evolving. And that's why I said too on my show, I was like, you know, I'm not the CEO, but I hear what he says. I repeat what I can. And
I do know that today, okay, so let's talk about one other thing, because I just want to throw this. Well, I have two other things to talk about today, but one is September 11th from Lyon, France will be the next big event, right? So that event is going to be done virtually also. So everybody who's in, if you get somebody signed up before the 15th of the month, you get a free virtual ticket. So Leanne has won a free virtual ticket by signing somebody up. So good for you. Way to go. So that's awesome. But also when we, Cheryl dropped some hints at the very end that they have, like they on today's Facebook Live, they threw out a lot of hints. So now it's like, okay, I got to go back and re-listen.
I know.
Because I was paying attention, but I was multitasking.
What?
So I missed some things.
You must be an entrepreneur. How weird.
No, actually, I had just woken up. So
Pacific time.
Yeah, we're Pacific time, so we are a little earlier. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, so we're gonna have to go dissect that, and next Tuesday have a little bit more information. So
Absolutely.
The last thing that I want to let me stop that screen share. I have one other thing to share. We talked about this last week, and we were talking about the new form. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to share what an old form on one of my pages looked like, because I think this is really important that people understand how we are moving. Like every time we do something, it's just 10 times better than it was before. It just, Justin and his team and the corporate team continuously just blow our minds. And in fact, Justin didn't even know that this was live. He thought he was sharing something new and was like, oh, I just learned that it's live. So this is what my old form looked like. Just one-liners. You kind of had to keep it short. I don't even know how many texts could actually be in any one of these. And they would submit their application. So kind of a bland, here's some information, and I could get 20 different things on every single one of these. So here's the new form that I built. So much different, so much better.
You could have put a background on the other one too.
I did have a background on it.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you do. Right. Okay.
You couldn't do the
Beyond
gradient
that,
behind the old one.
Oh, but look at that is really beautiful. And
So,
all the you can customize so much like we did last week.
Right. Just to be able to, for somebody to say like this one, what's your current side hustle? Just starting up, pre-revenue, you're under 1,000 a month, 1,000 to 9,999 and over 10. You know, this is a single radiograph button, so they have to pick one of these. And you can make it mandatory that they answer, so they can't skip it. What type of model have you been looking for? If they type other, then I want them to come in here and actually type. It could be real estate, investing, whatever that I didn't put. Then what type of things interest them? I do have some tweaks I'm still going to make to this, but anyway, it's just a nice part. And let me go to, hold on, I'm going to go to a different one here. Let me share a different screen because I have a better picture. I was doing this side by side with that one, so that made it a little different. So let's look at this one. All right. So here's the actual form itself. So what's really nice is as we come down, I have a big button here, a big box for them to fill out.
I love that.
You know, I ask the question, and then in the box, I say, I want them to be detailed. Like, I want to know why they want to join my group, right? Because that's part of an application. You know, my process that I'm doing with this is like somebody applying for a job, right? Just because you like what you see doesn't mean I necessarily want to work with you. Let's just be realistic here, right? It could be somebody that you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't stand. Like, maybe I just put you in somebody else's business and go, I'll let them deal with you.
Charles.
Most likely, I'm just going to go, no, you're not a fit for what we're doing. But, you know, I want people to explain. Like, I want to know.
Charles,
it's kind of like the Nowsite sales, right? Like when I call you back, I want to have a good understanding of who you are as a person, why I should have you work with me. Right? Our time is valuable.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's part of why I'm so excited. Yeah, Mon says, I'll take them. We, time is precious, and I'm excited right now to be in a revamping process. While doing a lot of other things, there's just a lot of things pointing that this is where and how we're going to help the most number of people. Given our gifts and our talents. And we do want to work with, like I said earlier, Nowsite sales can really give us that knowledge of how to help the people best and insight as well. How can we reach people the way that they want to be reached? How can we talk to people the way they want to be talked to?
Yes.
How can we find the people that belong in our tribe in terms of really, gelling and being able to run and, having dreams like you do, like I do, like I know actually one of our guests here, Yvonne, does. So that matters. And so I'm excited. This is a huge step for everybody.
It's a giant step.
Awesome.
Anything else for this week?
What's that?
Anything else for this week?
I think we're good. We'd love to get back to some other tips and tricks and things that you can do with Nowsite. But it seems like the last month or so, Nowsite just keeps throwing new stuff at us, right? Yes. And so, we're like keeping up, sort of. Maybe we need to do this twice a week. One about Nowsite, one about other stuff, because we love. Yeah. We're just nerds, and not Nowsite nerds. But
so next week, I do want to talk about some code snippets that I have found, some that we might have already talked about, but we'll get back into a little techie next week so that we can actually talk about like, wouldn't it be cool to be able to have a website that at a click of a button, you have 80 some odd languages that somebody could translate your page into.
Mm-hmm.
And not only just on one page, but on every page on your website, just by adding it in one spot. And what about adding a WhatsApp or Telegram link that people can contact you at? Or what about a sharing link that, like, somebody watches, let's say that I pop this video into one of my blogs and they go, oh my gosh, I love this. And they're watching it on my blog page. And with a click of a button, they can share it to their Facebook, their Twitter, without us having to do anything other than put a little code snippet. So those are three that I know that for sure we're going to talk about next week. And I do have a couple others that we'll probably bring in there.
Yeah.
Just making it super easy.
Yeah. So go back and look at some of our previous, this is, wow, how did we do this for 18 weeks already? Go back, watch some of our previous videos as we've talked about a little bit. Nowsite is an affiliate marketing program. Affiliate marketing, which is different than network marketing, but it does still mean that we want to give you our links. You get in, using our links, you get to work with us. Now, what I love about Nowsite is it's not, they're even trying to diffuse that. They're like, we're all one team. We all work together, and we do. And I love that about this. Oh, by the way, Charles, I'll be the featured speaker tomorrow night. So, and so there is, but our teams do get together and we do other trainings. So I'll be doing a training in a private group for Nowsite tomorrow night. And that's going to be fun. And
awesome. So that is exciting, Leanne.
Thank you. Yeah, Charles got to do it recently. Charles.
Any hint on the topic?
Could be, might be, maybe forms, because they're so cool.
What?
If you would happen to have some screenshots or something I could share, I'd be happy to give some credit.
Of course. I got 2 screenshots for you that I'll send you.
There you go.
I got my before and after.
So as affiliates, though, Charles did actually find me on YouTube, interviewed me to see if we were a right fit, joined up with.
Wait. I want everybody to think about what Leanne just said. How often have you been involved in a home-based business that somebody calls to interview you instead of you calling to show them what you have? Just saying. That's
I
the
just
power
got
of
out
YouTube.
interviewed by Yvonne too, by the way. I
See, that's twice
appreciate it.
now.
I know. I appreciate that. I really do. And but and likewise, so Charles and I do this show together every week. We love doing this. If you are inclined to join Nowsite because of what you're seeing right here, use Charles's link. It helps me too. It's that kind of business, but it's good for both of us. And then you're working with both of us. I love having my own people, but I love when Charles has people too. So let's all grow together. And just be respectful. You don't go Google it. You might end up on who knows team where they are, and you'd rather be with us. So
That's
just
right.
saying. And
All
so,
right, so we are not going to forget to do our high five out. So you got it. Oh, you're frozen. Oh, there you go. Okay, high five out. So till next week. Thanks everybody. Leanne's halfway frozen again. Bye everybody.
okay, bye.